had mentioned that she knows from experience that a will could take, what would you say, another 52 years to get. Oh, they could take, I have one will right now. I have two that we've been litigating for 3.5, almost 4 years. Yeah. So, and I can guarantee you that is not what the person who passed away wanted at all. The will, in my experience, and I think Councilwoman Arnold, this is basically her experience. You can go in and say, oh, well, he was undue influenced and he wasn't a sound mind. And then there has to be a whole trial about that. When you have a thing like a trust or something that's covered under the city program is a ladybird deed. And that's where, for folks who your only asset is your house, which is a lot of us Americans, especially as we grow older, you know, we're on a fixed income, we can do this ladybird deed and record it in the deed records. And it basically says, I'm keeping this house. It belongs to me. I can do whatever I want with it. But the moment I die, it becomes this person's or these people's or, you know, whatever it is. And if you have that recorded in the deed records, then when you pass, your heirs come to me and we do an affidavit of death. We record that with your death certificate and they own the house. It is so much harder to dispute a ladybird deed or a trust than it is a will. Mm. Hmm. So, I see this issue, I'd say every day. Yes, and especially with the borrowing for the property taxes. For some reason, these property tax lenders, they're a little bit like these payday lenders, and they're not really doing the due diligence they need to see if all of the owners are signing off on these loans. I definitely can talk to you about solutions. I can tell you this type of issue is going to be outside the scope of the city program. Simply from what you've told me already, I can tell it's going to take some litigation. And I have to say that sometimes, and this is why we do pre-planning, right? This is why I like the preventative work. This is why I like putting in trust. Because now you as heirs are going to have to do a cost-benefit analysis. Is it going to be worthwhile to pay this lawyer $25,000 to $50,000 to get this piece of property so that we can do this and that? And you're going to have to do some math and see if it's even worth it. A lot of times I have folks, the property's only worth $50,000, so it's not going to be worth it to pay me. And then, you know, they're just walking away, and of course, whoever is deceased is rolling over in their grave. So let me give you my office number, since I already know you won't be using the city program. Let me give you the office number. It's 972 845-1200. Now, ultimately, what will happen is if you all cannot agree, I'm sure the attorneys you've heard from were called Linebarger, Goggins, Sampson, and Blair. And if that, yes. So what will happen is if you don't agree, they will sue, they will get a judgment, and then they will sell the property on the courthouse steps. You all will receive the excess proceeds. That's any money they receive over what was owed to them, but the property will be gone. So do give us a call, 972-845-1200. I only charge $25 for consultations, so set that up and let's talk more in depth. And if you will have your husband and uncle on the call also, I would greatly appreciate that. Well, don't worry about that. So yes, you only have 7 days to address the letter, but I do property tax lawsuit defense. I'm one of maybe 4 attorneys in the whole area. So I know everybody over at Linebarger. They're as much my friends as they can be. So if you come in and you hire me, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to email Linebarger and let them know I'm on it. And then they're going to back off because they know I'm on it, and they in fact know I have the city contract. I talked to them about it when I got it and said, you know, I think maybe we can help people through here, and they're actually sending people to do that. So that is kind of the benefit of finding an attorney who's doing this specific type of work, because now I have a network of peers who are on the other side of the V, but we're friendly enough that, yeah, we can make moves. So do give us a call and we'll talk soon, and we'll get you hopefully squared away.
Right.
Well,
Good little scam.
I mean, people ask me all the time, can they do that? And the answer is yes. Anyone can do anything.
Right.
Yes. But the issue is, you know, what are the repercussions of the thing they're doing? Right. So, I actually interned for Propel, who's a property tax lender, when I was in law school. And so I know how incredibly predatory they are from the inside. It's a little shameful for me. I didn't know what they were doing. But now I do. And so it's actually great because I go against them and I negotiate with them. And I've actually worked in their office before. So that gives me a little bit of an advantage. But yes, and that happens all the time. And in fact, the state just made this new thing where you can do an airship homestead. And so I'm getting a lot of people into those so that they can get on a payment plan and they can pay Linebarger off and, you know, move forward with their property taxes. And usually those situations occur because there's 1 or 2 brothers or sisters that think they're going to get rich and they're holding out, and you're not going to get rich. The house is worth maybe $80,000 and you got to contribute to the taxes and all those things, but they think they're going to, and so they hold out. And so then the heir who's living there ends up getting the most benefit because you are not wanting to negotiate or compromise. So if you had a trust and you passed away, the trust would have to pay the tax liability. And as long as your trustee was doing what they're supposed to do, the answer is absolutely no, you would not have to worry about it at all.